In December 1971, beneath the waters of the Bay of Bengal, Pakistan's most dangerous submarine, PNS Ghazi, lay hidden in ambush. Like a predator waiting for its prey, it hunted the Indian Navy's most powerful aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant. Pakistan's mission was simple. The moment Vikrant entered open waters, Ghazi would destroy it with torpedoes. But the Indian Navy had already prepared a deadly trap of its own. The submarine had been underwater for days. Oxygen levels were falling and the crew was slowly suffocating. Eventually, the captain ordered the submarine to surface for fresh air. As Ghazi slowly rose toward the surface, the captain looked through the periscope and froze in horror. Racing directly toward them at full speed was the Indian destroyer INS Rajput. The captain immediately ordered an emergency dive, but it was already too late. In this story, you'll discover how India lured PNS Ghazi into a deadly trap, protected INS Vikrant, and turned Pakistan's deadliest submarine into an underwater grave. After the partition of India in 1947, the eastern part of Bengal became East Pakistan. Despite having a huge population, all political power remained in the hands of West Pakistan. The people of East Pakistan were oppressed, their culture was suppressed, and even the Bengali language was targeted. Over time, anger and rebellion began to grow. By 1970, tensions had reached a breaking point. In the elections, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's Awami League won a massive victory over Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's party. But the military rulers of West Pakistan refused to hand over power to a Bengali leader. Democracy was crushed overnight. Soon, the streets of East Pakistan exploded with protests as people demanded freedom and equal rights. On March 26, 1971, the Pakistani military launched the brutal Operation Searchlight. Thousands of civilians were massacred, women were assaulted, children were killed, and entire villages disappeared in bloodshed. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was arrested and imprisoned in West Pakistan. Millions of terrified civilians fled across the border into India. Within months, the refugee crisis crossed 10 million people. India could no longer stay silent. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi appealed to world leaders, especially the United States and Western nations. But during the Cold War, America strongly supported Pakistan. In April 1971, Indira Gandhi summoned India's army chief, General Sam Manekshaw. "I want the Indian army to enter East Pakistan immediately," she said. But Manekshaw calmly replied, "If we go to war now, defeat is almost certain. The monsoon season has begun. Rivers will flood, the land will turn into mud, and our tanks and artillery will get trapped. Give me time until winter, and I guarantee victory." Indira Gandhi accepted his advice. India delayed the attack but secretly began preparing for war on a massive scale. India started training Mukti Bahini fighters, the resistance forces of East Pakistan. They were supplied with weapons, intelligence, and military tactics. Pakistan's intelligence agency quickly realized that India was preparing for war. But more than anything else, Pakistan feared one weapon, INS Vikrant. Vikrant was like a floating city. Its Seahawk fighter jets and Sea King helicopters could strike Pakistani ports and warships at any moment. Pakistan understood one terrifying reality. If Vikrant entered the Bay of Bengal, the Pakistani Navy would be destroyed. That's when India began a brilliant deception strategy. Indian airspace was closed to Pakistani aircraft, forcing them to fly around Sri Lanka. At the same time, the Indian Navy increased activity on the Western Front to distract Pakistan from the eastern waters. Pakistan's naval commander, Admiral Muzaffar Hasan, believed India was preparing to attack Karachi, so he shifted most naval forces to the west. That left East Pakistan dangerously exposed. India then imposed a full naval blockade on the region. Meanwhile, INS Vikrant, which had previously suffered technical problems, was fully repaired and returned to active duty. On November 8, 1971, Pakistani Admiral Abdul Wahid summoned the captain of PNS Ghazi, Zafar Muhammad Khan. "Your target is INS Vikrant. Find it. Destroy it. Whatever happens, Vikrant must not survive." All leave for Ghazi's crew was cancelled. Torpedoes and mines were loaded on board, and Pakistan's deadliest hunter sailed toward the Bay of Bengal. But the Indian Navy already suspected Ghazi's mission. Intercepted communications and unusual submarine supply requests revealed that Ghazi was heading east. Vice Admiral Nilakanta Krishnan made a bold decision. Instead of hunting Ghazi, he would lure it into a trap. The real INS Vikrant was secretly moved far away from Visakhapatnam. In its place, the destroyer INS Rajput began transmitting Vikrant's radio signals and call signs. India even leaked fake messages designed to fall into Pakistani hands, convincing them that Vikrant was still docked at Visakhapatnam harbour. On November 23rd, Captain Zafar received the message: "Target located at Visakhapatnam. Proceed with the mission." Confident of victory, Ghazi sailed directly into the trap. On the night of December 1st, 1971, the submarine silently approached the harbour of Visakhapatnam. Captain Zafar decided to wait in ambush for Vikrant. But conditions inside the submarine were becoming catastrophic. Oxygen levels were collapsing, hydrogen gas was building dangerously, and several sailors had already begun coughing blood. Above them, INS Rajput patrolled the dark waters in complete silence. Lights and navigation systems were shut down. The destroyer hunted like a predator in the night. On December 3rd, 1971, Pakistan launched surprise airstrikes against Indian air bases. The Indo-Pakistani War had officially begun. At the same moment, INS Rajput received orders to leave the harbour immediately. Deep underwater, the crew of Ghazi could barely breathe anymore. In desperation, Captain Zafar ordered the submarine to surface. That decision became his final mistake. The moment Ghazi rose closer to the surface, INS Rajput's sonar instantly detected it. Alarms began ringing across the ship. Rajput accelerated toward the target at full speed. Looking through the periscope, Captain Zafar saw a massive Indian destroyer charging directly at them. He screamed for an emergency dive, but there was no time left. INS Rajput passed directly above the submarine. "Fire depth charges," Commander Inder Singh ordered. Seconds later, a terrifying underwater explosion shook the sea. The blast was so powerful that giant columns of water erupted into the air. Inside Ghazi, torpedoes and mines detonated in a chain reaction. The front section of the submarine was destroyed instantly. Seawater rushed inside under crushing pressure, and within minutes, Pakistan's most feared submarine sank forever into the depths of the Bay of Bengal, along with all 93 sailors on board. The next morning, fishermen discovered wreckage, oil slicks, and Pakistani life jackets floating near Visakhapatnam. Later, Indian naval divers recovered a shattered clock from the wreck. Its hands had stopped forever at 12:15 a.m., the exact moment Ghazi died. Pakistan tried to hide the truth, claiming the submarine had accidentally sunk after hitting its own mine. But the world already knew what had happened. With Ghazi destroyed, nothing could stop INS Vikrant anymore. On December 4th, Vikrant unleashed its full power. Fighter aircraft from its deck bombed Pakistani positions in Chittagong and Cox's Bazar. On the Western Front, India launched Operation Trident. Indian missile boats attacked Karachi harbour, destroying the Pakistani destroyer PNS Ghazi and massive fuel reserves. Karachi burned for days. Within just 13 days, Pakistan's resistance collapsed. On December 16, 1971, General Niazi surrendered with more than 93,000 Pakistani soldiers, the largest military surrender since World War II. And with that, a new nation was born on the map of the world, Bangladesh. As for PNS Ghazi, the submarine sent to hunt INS Vikrant, it still rests silently beneath the waters near Visakhapatnam, a forgotten grave beneath the sea.